Hello, thank you for joining. I'm just going to make this a bit higher. Beautiful Norfolk says, oh, it's just vanished off the screen. I'll read it in a second. Well, let's try that again. Beautiful Norfolk says, hi, never seen a live chat thing on here before. Looks like a nice day there. It's a beautiful day here. Thank you for joining. I quite often go live, usually every day. I'm at Great Yarmouth Lock Station and there's several boats that have come past. David says, good afternoon Lisa and everyone. Hi David, thank you for joining. Isn't this a great spot today? Lovely spot yesterday and another one today. There's another boat coming past. David says, got to get my broad fix. Steve says, good afternoon, Lisa. Hope you're well. I am, Stephen, thank you. Hope you are too. Sally says, afternoon, Lisa. Thanks for my dinner hour entertainment. You're very welcome, Sally. David says, Vicky says hello. Hi, Vicky. Sally Ann says, afternoon, Lisa and everyone. Good afternoon, Sally Ann. Thank you for joining. I'm sure you all know where I am. It's windy, so I've got to make sure you don't blow over. I don't think it would take much for you to blow over. Beautiful Norfolk says, I have to get on with work unfortunately. Would rather stay and watch the world go by. Take care. Thank you, beautiful Norfolk, for dropping by. Feel free to subscribe and hit the notifications for all notifications, and then you'll be notified every time I go live. Johnny Treehouse says, hi everyone. Hi John, thank you for joining. It is windy and breezy, so it is wobbly. I think you might get blown over, I hope not. John says, looks lovely there. It is. Beautiful day. some people fishing the other way, so I won't show you that side just yet. But I'm beside the White Swan, which was a pub and is now a fish and seafood restaurant, and I'm beside one of the towers for Great Yarmouth Wall. Stephen says, lovely blue sky. David's got the same sky there today in Lincolnshire. Nice weather. So there's been boats coming from both ways. Some have just crossed Braden and others have just gone out to Braden. Sally says, wish I was there instead of sat at my desk. Janet says, hi Eastern everyone. Hi Janet, thanks for joining. David says, I didn't spoil his fishing yesterday because I wished him luck. So the other time I wished him luck, it was dreadful fishing. Thank you for the likes on this live stream. Hello to all 16 of you here watching. Thank you for joining. And hello to the people watching this on replay. Now, last night when I went live, I don't think he's here, Carl was giving me all these suggestions and I kept saying, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. And then I thought about it and he's right. So Carl, when you watch this, thank you. And I've taken your advice and I am going to do what you say. I haven't done it yet. It's about giving people the options to do things, isn't it? I think yesterday I'd live streamed twice. I caught the sun quite badly yesterday and I think I was just not grumpy but definitely tired. So thank you for that, Carl. If anybody's thinking of starting out on YouTube, go and follow Carl and speak to him. He's got some great ideas for YouTube and seems to know it and understand it an awful lot better than I do. And his channel's Waterside Fishing Adventures. David says, can only stay for an hour today. Got to take my son for a medical appointment when he leaves work at 2. That's absolutely fine, David. I don't know how long I'll be here today. I've still not finished today's video that goes out at 6. I've uploaded it. I've added the music. I've added the text to the video. I now need to do the ordinary write-up and all the hashtags, etc. that go with it. Who remembers the saga of my brand new glasses and me sitting on them? Well, I've just been into Asda eventually and I took them in, you know, quite ashamed of the fact that I sat on them and broke them after just 3 weeks. Yes, Janet remembers. So I just went into Asda and she said, tell you what, go do your shopping and then come back, see us. Let's see what we can do. Well, they're totally repaired. Beautifully repaired. All sorted for me. And guess how much it was? absolutely free. Didn't have to pay a single penny. Hooray for Asda, absolutely. Asda opticians all the way. I did break them, Stephen, yes. David's had a busy day. He's already taken Vicky to podiatry clinic and he's taking his grandson to the dentist. David, you got a full-time job there. Yes, absolutely free, Stephen. Chris says, don't come at much, but watch most days in my workshop. So relaxing. Thank you, Chris. I don't mind if you just watch. You don't have to always comment. Just, you know, just use this in whatever way you wish. I'm getting braver with my live streams because I've somebody, or 4 people sat to my left. I'd never have done that a couple of weeks ago. Hi, Stephen. Stephen UK, thank you for joining us. David says he's thinking of getting a private ambulance signed for the car. I don't blame you, David. Stephen says he's done a name change. You were still, yeah, but somehow I knew that was you. Stephen, I've just been singing Carl's praises because last night in my live he was saying to me to do this, do that, and everything he suggested I kept saying no to. I think because it was the second live of the day. I'd been at Potter Heigham and caught the sun, and so he was coming out with some brilliant suggestions and I kept saying no, no, no. So I've been singing his praises and saying that I was totally wrong, and I've realised now that it's about giving people the option, the various options to do things. You met him through YouTube, did you? Like me. Stephen says there's too many Stephens. Right, you met him in Stalham. But he's not in here. Probably understandable because I kept saying no to everything. That's good, you're close friends, that's nice. Well, when you next speak to him, tell him I've been singing his praises in here. Janet says, I lost my handbag in the water there at the yacht station many years ago. Oh no, Janet. Did you ever retrieve it, or was it lost forever? Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for the 9 likes on this live stream. Oh, Janet, lost forever. Oh, that's such a shame. I wonder if anybody ever found it when magnet fishing. Mark says, I'm sitting on my boat. Wonderful, Mark. Whereabouts are you? Roughly, not exact location. Doesn't have to be down to 3 words. Status from that app. Signal not good. What, for you or for me? I'm all right because I'm in Yarmouth, so I should have 5G. Janet says, jumping onto a boat and it slipped off my shoulder. Oh, gosh. Hello to the new people joining the live stream. It is a bit wobbly because I've got you on a tripod. It's very breezy here. Hopefully it's not too wobbly for you. shot of wildlife. Hi Liam, thank you for joining. Liam is also on YouTube. The BBC presenter Ben Garrett from Ben's Bones and now professor at the UEA grew up at the Suspension Bridge pub over the road, no longer there. Oh yeah, it's shut down, isn't it? Sally Ann says it's a brilliant picture today, probably because in Great Yarmouth I've got 5G, Sally Ann. Waterside fishing. Hi Carl. Hi Lisa. Sorry I'm a little late. I'm working today. How are you today? Carl, I'm absolutely fine, thank you. I've been singing your praises, Carl. I owe you an apology. I've been saying to everybody how I live streamed twice yesterday and I'm burnt from being at Potter Home. So by the time I got to Hickling last night, you were giving me all these suggestions and I kept saying, no, I don't want to do that. No, don't want to do that. And then on the journey home, I twigged. It's about giving people the options to do things, not telling them they have to. So thank you, Carl. That's my apology to you. I am going to take your advice and do what you say. Right, let's see what messages I've missed. Mark says, did you get your glasses fixed? I did. I went into Asda where I got them and sheepishly went up to the counter and I said, I've had these 3 weeks. I've sat on them and broken them. She said, go and do your shopping and come back. And that's exactly what I did. And I went back and I thought she was going to say, you know, you're going to have to buy some new lens frames. The lenses are all right, it's the frames. And I got back up to the counter and she brought them to me. She'd repaired them beautifully. You'd never know anything had happened. And the best bit is, it was all done absolutely free. Free! Where does that happen in life these days? So that's absolutely fantastic. Stephen says it's a great picture. Thanks, Stephen. David says signal's not good. Something about the 3-word locations. Liam at A Shot of Wildlife says, sorry, the pub is over the river. And the words go after a few seconds. Got to find you again. Not on the road. I'll show you where it is. I'll show everybody. That's it over there. There. And then we can just watch them. There's another boat coming. But we'll face back this way because there's people there fishing and we can still see all the boats when they come past here, can't we? I'm just seeing what I've missed. Carl says, no worries, just trying to help you move forward with your great channel. Thank you, Carl. I don't know why I was being negative Nancy. But you're right, it's about giving people the option to do whatever. It's not telling them they have to do it, just giving them the option. Bob says, lunch at Wayford Bridge for me. Fantastic, Bob. I'm glad you're enjoying your holiday. Stephen says, here's a boat. Absolutely. Shining light it was. David says, are they catching anything? I don't think so. I don't think so, David. there is a memorial for the, back to the suspension bridge, there is a memorial for everybody who died in that disaster. I don't know if I can see it from here. Let's have a look. It's further along. Stephen says he went here and caught nothing. Yeah, I think it's the same again for these people. Hello to all 23 of you that are watching, and thank you for the 12 likes on this live stream. I think it was the early, Liam might know the date better than me. Was it about 1903, Liam? There was, the disaster happened. It's called the Suspension Bridge. And there was a clown came down the river in a barrel. And there were lots of people on the bridge. Obviously that's a different bridge because it had to be repaired. And so there's this clown coming down here, and they're all stood on the bridge watching, and the bridge collapsed. And you can just, the memorial, you won't see much of it. It's down, if I can see, right down the end there. You just see a big black sign and everybody's names are on it. But we'll go back this way because, oh, I got the tripod stuck in my top. When I face that way, they know that I'm doing something. Yes, it was awful, Janet. It's breezy, I know that. Oh, it was 1845. Goodness, I was a long way out. The clown was being towed by 4 geese. Yes, I remember the story. You're right. Everyone was watching, ran from one side to the other as the clown came under the bridge. Thank you, Liam. That's very much appreciated that you gave the correct story. Yes, the people going all rushing from one side of the bridge to the other made the bridge collapse. Carl's just subscribed to Liam. Liam's YouTube channel is all about wildlife. He has fantastic videos, all the different facts on the wildlife. Liam says, I went on a historical walk once in Yarmouth. Very interesting stuff. I like local history. I did walk partly around the old town wall and filmed that. It's amazing what's about everywhere if you just take your time to have a look. Janet says, well, what a story. Joe, Mrs. Waterside says, hi Lisa, hi Joe, thanks for joining. The water's still rushing out here. Liam says, I think you can stay in part of the wall which is behind you, or you will be able to in the next couple of months. Yes, it's going to be converted, isn't it? It's here, I'll show you. Another tower has already been converted to accommodation, but that one's going to be converted as well. I never knew Bob by the Water had a YouTube channel. Do you, Bob? I don't know, that Liam. There's nothing over there that I can say. It may be open, but it doesn't look like it. Liam says, oh, they're behind schedule then. I'm sure it was open for bookings from the beginning of this month. Because as the other tower looks brilliant inside, they have left the walls almost the same from the inside. Yes, somebody I follow called Andrew, he's a BBC reporter. He filmed it. He stayed there and filmed it. I can't think what his name is. He's on Instagram. I don't think he's on YouTube. Bye, Stephen. Thanks for joining. It's very warm again today. Liam says, lunch is over for me. Have a good rest of your day. And you, Liam, thanks for joining. Carl said, Lisa, are you having a good day out? And food at Yarmouth today? No food at Yarmouth. No, nothing to eat. I did do some shopping in Asda. And I'm having a great day because Asda fixed my 3-week-old glasses that I sat on and broke. They fixed them for free. So that I'm just totally made up with that. I'll just pronounce your name as Go, if that's all right. Go says, drinking my coffee. Slowly, should be gardening. Okay, Stephen, perhaps see you back in a bit. We might be able to face the other way in a minute. Are you okay facing this way, or do you want to look the other way? Can you even see that way with the sun? Steve says, it made your day with the glasses. It did. I thought I was going to have to buy new frames. But that would teach me, won't it? You know, getting up at 4 in the morning and being half asleep. Yes, the fishing people have gone. They're now walking down under the bridge. Oh, can you see all the other people walking down there? Some have got prams and just turn around. There's lots of people walking down to the other bridge. Yeah, Carl says, Lisa, that's great with the glasses. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. But, you know, 3 weeks old, brand new glasses. I get up in the night, 4 o'clock. Forgot I'd been using them and having a look online. Went back, sat on my bed and promptly sat on them. Stephen says, it can happen to anyone. I know. That's what the lady said at the opticians. Pam says, afternoon, Lisa and everyone. Hi, Pam. The people fishing are one of my subscribers called Brendan, says, or decided, what, who was just here before with the young lady? Janet says, do you know how much they charge for moorings? No, I don't, because I don't have a boat. I don't know all the ins and outs of these things, but I'm sure somebody in the chat will know. I'm going to face you back the other way because with the sun, it's quite hard for me to read, even with fixed glasses. When the sun shines on the screen, but if I face you back this way, I can see everything. Oh, right, so, well, they had, I don't think they wanted whatever I was doing, so you have to tell. I hope I haven't chased them off because I'm sat here live streaming, but I was very respectful. I only faced the other way once. Does anybody know how much the moorings are down at the yacht station for Janet? She says last time she moored there it was £7.50. What is it now, everybody, for moorings at Great Yarmouth Yacht Station? David, you'll know. David says a few years ago we stayed at Vauxhall, and when walking down the Riverside Road there were lots of cloth on the handrail where people rested their rods. Oh. Didn't see any here today on my way down here. John says £6 for the day mooring and £13 overnight. Thank you, John. Very much appreciated for that. Hello to the new people joining us. I'm in Great Yarmouth and we're looking up in the river in the direction of the yacht station. David says, Vicky will not let me take a boat to Yarmouth. I have been along here, but I was with people having a day trip with them and we crossed Braden. I was with Julie and Brad and Brad's sister Alison, and they invited me to go across Braden, and we were very lucky because literally we just got onto Braden and round the corner of the boat comes 2 lifeboats who, oh, I nearly lost you, you nearly blew away. 2 lifeboats on exercise, and they were that close to the cruiser, it wouldn't have been much trouble to touch the boat. Oh, I'm yawning. I think I've had too much sun, you know. The water is rushing out here. Can you see it on the screen? How fast that's going. I've parked up at the yacht station, and it's good because I can sit here and keep an eye on my car. Thank you, Carl. Janet says the price has nearly doubled, but the moorings look a lot better. Oh, here comes another cruiser. Janet says, have you brought a hat with you? Janet, what do you think? No. No, I'm hopeless. It would just blow off. It'd be in the river, wouldn't it? Hi. That was a lovely cruiser, Captain 6. Pastor's Lisa, I hope you got a bottle of water with you. Yes, I've got some apple juice actually. Whatever's that? That was the boat's horn, tooting the people that are down that way under the bridge. The river is going out fast, Stephen. Yes, very fast. Janet says a nice little cruiser. It was beautiful. Stephen remembers the Braden Water video. Thank you, Stephen. That was great that day, wasn't it? I got to go past Burney Arms Mill and the Burney Arms former pub. All places that I could never walk to because that'd be like a 10-mile round trip. Although, Liam, if you're still in here, you did a walk to Burney Arms Mill, didn't you? And you did a circular route. He's got a great video. He'll probably say no. Oh, he went because he was end of his lunch hour, wasn't it? I'm going to say, he'll probably say no, well, it's not me, I didn't do a video. I feel sure he did. They've got a great view from those properties over there, haven't they? Great view of the river. I'd have to have my lounge upstairs. No cruisers coming along the other way. Not yet, anyway. Should we face that way again, briefly into the sun? See, when I face this way, I can't see a single thing. Yes, Janet, I'd be watching all day as well. Unless I have you up here level in my line of view, I can't see a single thing in this screen. Sun's so bright. We could take a wander down to the memorial for the suspension bridge if you wished. Would you like to do that, or are you all right just staying here? What would you like to do? Tell me in the comments. Janet, you know me so well. Janet says no sunglasses either. Now, let me think. Where are they? Oh, I know. They're in the car. There's a sunglasses holder in the car, up in the roof. And Emily put them in there last night after hickling. What would I like to do? I don't mind, really. We'll stay here, shall we? Shall we go down? Shall we do that on a quieter day? Oh, we missed this. Look, facing the other way, we missed this totally. What's going on? They decided to turn round. Oh, and they're going to hit the wall. They didn't hit the wall. Must have been close. We face the other way for a second and we miss it all. There's another cruiser up there. I wonder what made them change their minds and go back. Because if you look down there, it doesn't look like you can't get under the bridge, does it? Oh, and this cruiser's turning round as well. What's going on? Is he turning round? Sorry, I know I'm missing comments, but I've got a little bit of drama on the river happening. I want to know what's happening. Sally Ann says they're turning around so they can moor onto the oncoming tide. Sally Ann, thank you. See, I don't know these things. Thank you, Sally Ann. Right, goodness, I've missed lots of messages. Carl says, Lisa, if there are places you would like to show that you cannot get to, let me know and I'll take you in my little boat through to them. Carl, that is so kind. Thank you. Janet says you always leave the things you need in your car. I do. There's always so much to bring out. There's my camera, my bag. I've downsized my bag So it's just purely for camera and live streaming. See what other messages I've missed. Dennis says, oh, hi, Dennis. Dennis says, good afternoon, Lisa. Just tuned in to nice blue sky again. Yes, look at it. Just look at that. Not a cloud anywhere. Nowhere. It's the most beautiful day. No matter where I show you, it's just blue sky. Somebody walked past. Thinking, what is she doing? I don't know myself. Janet said, perhaps they think, oh, there's some more cruisers. Janet says, perhaps they think they're heading out to sea. You could be right, Janet. Sky is lovely today. It's a little bit breezy and I am worried you're going to fall off the bench. So I'm frantically holding on to you. Somebody in the boat just realised I'm live streaming. Somebody's lost a fender, look, down there in the river. There's a cruiser coming from the other side. He's a little way away. I definitely like it here. What do you all think? Do you like it here? David says, bye Lisa. Bye all. Got to go pick up my son. David, thank you for joining. Can you see the fender in the water? I know it's just a fender. I don't know why I'm so concerned about showing you. That will definitely go out to sea now, won't it? Dennis can't hear my voice on the mobile. Can anybody else not hear me? Janet says, no, don't let us fall. I've already had a fall and don't want another. Oh no, Janet. Hope you're okay. Janet says, yes, it's lovely where you are. It is. There's the fender. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Janet. Look at the speed this is going down. Look at that. That's how fast the water's going out. Thank you, Sally Ann. Fender went straight into the cruiser. We've got one this side as well. I just got to put you back on the bench how you were, so hopefully you won't fall over. Now look at the back of that boat. Are you thinking what I'm thinking in my location? Oh, Moneypenny's coming past. Moneypenny is absolutely beautiful. Whisper emblem. I don't think I've seen that one before. Right, Right, let's see what messages I missed. It's not intentional that I don't answer straight away. Janet says, I would definitely fall down the steps of that cruiser. I think I would, Janet. Willisy, hi. Thank you for joining us. Everybody's now saying hello to you, Willisy. For anybody who doesn't know, Willisy is a gentleman. Willisy says, Great Yarmouth is one of my favourite towns. Regent Road is one of my guilty pleasures. Janet says, where have you been? We've missed you. We have missed you, Willisy. Have you been on holiday? Or you just been very busy? I think they thought they could walk all the way along the edge, but you can't. Willis says, I bought a trike in Anglia Square today. Well, that sounds fun. Great fun. Willis says, just cycled to home in Helsden in this heat. No more flooded kitchens, I hope, Willisy. Willisy says the trike's a pedal one with a basket on the back. I know the sort. They look so lovely, don't they? Pam likes Regent Road too. Too many people down Regent Road for my liking. Since COVID times. This is more my style. Look, let me show you. Let me show you. Let's just, I've got you wedged in. Right, look. This is how many people I like to be around. See? There is only me here, and this is just how I like it. Sally Ann says she's got a Mission Electric trike. Willisy says no flooded kitchens, just a biscuit shortage. Oh no! Much to the matron's annoyance. Willis's trike is a Mission 2, but a manual one. Stephen says he also hates big crowds of people. Yes, Stephen, I think, you know, having had COVID, or Waterside says, me too. Yes, Pam says, used to like the stalls and chips with gravy. Stephen says, I'm the same, Lisa. Andrea, hello, thank you for joining us. Nice to see you. I'm very well, thank you. Hope you are as well. I'm sure you know where I am. I'm not far from Yarmouth Yacht Station. Yeah, I think, you know, even before I got COVID, I didn't like groups of people. Andrea says, all good. Yes, Yarmouth, good. And And even now, I mean, going into Asda earlier, I know Janet kept saying to me, have you got your glasses fixed? Have you been and got your glasses fixed? Which I was very grateful to. And I just kept avoiding it because of all the people. And I went in today, and luckily I timed it, you know, sort of lunchtime, so it wasn't too bad. But groups of people are scary. It's daft, isn't it? So this here, me being the only person here, is perfect for me. Thank you for the 29 likes on this live stream. It's very much appreciated. And hello to the 31 of you here watching, if I haven't already said hello to you. Andrew says it's too quiet today. What, with the boats you mean? It's been quiet up until up until the weekend. It's been really quiet all this year. Janet says chips and gravy. Pam, that doesn't sound nice. Well, you can get that on Yarmouth, or used to be able to when the chip stores were there. I think you could have gravy on your chips. Janet says you're not on your own, Lisa. 30 officers sitting with you. Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you. I'll show you the other way. Pam discovered them in Yarmouth. Yeah, I thought they did chips and gravy there. John loves chips and gravy. Andrew says, never really enjoyed going through Yarmouth, but so worth it to get to the other side. Yes, I've only crossed Braden once, and I absolutely loved it. Really loved it. Went to Reedham and went all the way to Cantley, and I got off. I met them at 8:30 in the morning at what's the little pub called? Ferry Inn at Stokesby. Stephen likes chips with gravy. Andrea's family broke down in the 90s on the Braden. Andrea's told me this. Tell them the little story about it, Andrea, about the phone and waving. Willissa says, oh, how lovely. Love Stokesby. Yes, Stokesby's lovely. And I like the trip from there. I know some people say, oh, it's just Reeds, but I really enjoyed the trip from there down to Buell Park, Marina Keys, that was, and then coming on to this section along further up over there alongside Tarworks Road, and then coming along here, going out under the bridges is great. Now, this is interesting. Last time I faced this way, I couldn't see anything on the screen at all. And now I can. See, as Sally Ann says, that sounds awful. Will I see? Oh, what sounds awful? Oh, I found the message. Willissa says in Canada they have chips, gravy and cheese curds called poutine. Ooh, I agree with you, Sally Ann. Stephen says all this talk about chips is making me hungry. Willissa says, I think I'll stick to pancakes. Andrea says, tied to a post, this is when they broke down on Braden, and my dad said, Get up the front and wave as boats are going past. Get some help. Well, everyone was just waving back. Didn't realise we were stuck. Never forgot it. That's funny, but it isn't funny, isn't it? I mean, it must have been so frustrating. Pam's going to pass on the cheese curds. Janet says, oh yes, pancakes with maple syrup. Yes, definitely. Pancakes with maple syrup. And maybe a little bit of vanilla ice cream. Or cream. Andrea says it was a nightmare. They were stuck there for 2 hours. Willis says, do you know if the Burney Arms will ever reopen? Well, I don't know. No, is the answer in short. But you've all heard me say and go on and on and on. And you even know what I'm going to say before I say it. I think they should open up the old road to the Burney Arms. Make it a cafe, little pub, and have a big car park so everybody could park and watch the boats going over Breydon. I think that would be an absolute gold mine. And if it was open all year, think how many locals would go in winter. We'd all support it. Andrea wishes it would reopen. Pam can imagine them all waving back at Andrea. Willis says, what a fab idea. Wait for the tide at Breydon Water whilst having a drink. Absolutely. You know, and just make it somewhere that everybody can go to and sit and watch the boats. You know, this time of year, you can hardly get a parking space at Stokesby because everybody's watching the boats. Ludham as well. If I want a parking space at Ludham to do a live or film, I've got to be there just before 9 o'clock in the morning. Stephen says everyone waves to each other on boats. Yes, that's one of the Broad's wonderful things that happens, but not ideal when you're broken down. Janet says, is the Stracy Arms still closed too? The Stracy Arms hasn't been open for many, many years, Janet. It's now, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, people who are local, I think it's a Sikh temple now. Andrew says, it happened long before mobiles. My mum was terrified. Dad came out of the cabin with a life belt on. Oh. What we got? Should we have a look? Lots of sirens in Yarmouth, but out my way you don't really get many. Willis says Stracy Arms windmill is due to reopen soon when the sails go back on. Yes, they've been working on that a while, haven't they? a Hindu shrine. Thank you for that, Willisy. I said Sikh. Thank you. I knew somebody would know the answer. Janet says they're after you, Lisa. Yes, I thought afterwards, should I be live streaming live streaming them going past? Stephen says they were going for their lunch. Sally Ann says, if you go to near Hunter's Yard at Ludham next Tuesday at 9 a.m, you'll see Albion leaving. Oh, I'll be working, unfortunately. Andrea says, was it not an Indian restaurant too? I don't know, Andrea, I don't know. Pam says that the police were going for chips and gravy. Oh dear. You lot are so funny. Willisy says, one of my friends from Norwich attends the shrine. It was picked there as a halfway point between Yarmouth and Norwich, she says. That's all right, Pam. Gosh, you've been live for over an hour. Do you know, time goes the quickest when I'm live. Must be time for some more cruisers. Where do you think that fender is now? Willisy says, am I right in saying you can see the yacht station from the A47? I would have thought the buildings in Runham Vauxhall would be in the way. Runham Vauxhall's the other side of those houses over there. That's Runham Vauxhall. I don't know. I've never really looked across. Janet says, is that you heavy breathing or a boat coming? Well, there are no boats coming, but I wasn't aware I was heavy breathing. Andrea says, gorgeous day. Wish I was there. Where is everyone? Where is everyone? That is the question of the whole year. Where is everyone? Fender, Pam says. The Fender's in Southend now. Oh, brilliant. Sally Ann says she's in Coltishall. And she wishes she was here too. Willisy's in Norwich. Slow you down. Where are all the holiday makers? Pam is in deepest Essex, desperately needing rain. Andrea is in hot Newcastle. Willisey might be going to Horning tomorrow afternoon to the Swan Inn. It's nice there. I stayed there in January and the fire alarm went off. It was a practice. Somebody had put the key in to do the practice and it broke in the machine. Carl says, Lisa, we live just down the road from you, do you? Yeah, when the fire alarm went off, nobody had a look to see if I was out of my room. I was. Luckily, I'd packed up my things and just needed to put them in my bag. So I scooped everything up, put it in my bag and got out. Stephen says I'm near Huntingdon. Stephen, Huntingdon as in Cambridgeshire? Carol, hello Carol. Welcome to this live stream. Carol is from Brentwood. Janet's asking how Pip is today. A day boat ran into Andrea at the ferry inn. Willisey says, did you scream when it went off? Well, it's extremely loud and I did purposely video it so people could hear how loud it was. Stephen says, Pip is on the sofa with me. She says, woof. Oh. Everybody's saying hello to Carol now. Thank you all for welcoming people every time they arrive in the live stream. That's such a lovely, kind thing to do from you all. Yes, Cambridgeshire. Have we had this conversation before, Stephen? Did I tell you I used to live out that way? Andrew says she's a magnet for disasters when she's on the Broads. Willis says Huntingdonshire used to be a county until 74 when it was absorbed by Cambridgeshire. Yes. Well, my dad was in the RAF and we were at RAF Brampton. And I used to go to Hinchingbrook School, which is no more. And I was there at that school. I don't know how old Stephen is, but it gives away my age when I say I was at Hinchingbrook on the second floor when the aeroplane flew by that crashed. Do you remember that, Stephen? Or anybody else? So I was at RAF Brampton and then my dad left the RAF and we moved to Sawtry. And I lived at 54 Rockingham Road in Sawtry. Very long time ago now. Janet says, keep clear of Andrea, everyone. Yes. George, hello George, thank you for joining us. George says, last time I was on the Broads. My nephew was given 3 speeding warnings on the same day between Sutton Staithe and London Bridge. Great days. Willissy says, oh my God. Stephen says, I used to live in Sawtry as well. Did you? Well, I can remember the rower shops and Sawtry Village College, because I went there, and Rockingham Road. And then you could climb out the back of where I was on Rockingham Road. There was these hills, and I used to walk up them to the top. Willissy says, Lisa's only about 30, not that old. Thank you, Willissy. Everybody's saying hi to George now. Andrea says, you sound so young, Lisa. I wish I was. Stephen says, it's still there. I used to live near the primary school. I can't even think where the primary school was. Oh, yes I do. How long ago were you there, Stephen? Were you there as an adult or a child? There is a cruiser coming. Bob has arrived. Good afternoon, Lisa. I think I might be a little late. Bob, no, you're never late to joining a live. You're absolutely fine. If you wish, once it's uploaded to my main channel, you can watch it on replay should you wish to. But thank you for joining. Never worry anybody what time you get here. Willissy says, was that a train horn? I haven't got a clue what it was. I think it was a lorry. This one's struggling against the tide, this boat that's coming past. Thank you all for welcoming Bob. We've got Windsor Bridge coming past. Do you agree that it's struggling against the tide? Or is that just how he's choosing to drive? And in the distance behind me is another cruiser approaching. Is that boat struggling or not? Willissy says, what a lovely boat. It is a lovely boat. As an adult, says Stephen. I've moved a lot, spent a while in Horning as a child. I've moved an awful lot, which is why now I'm here. I don't want to move. I won't move. Andrea agrees that the boat is pushing against the tide. Yeah, it seems to be struggling. Sally Ann agrees. Willissy says, do you like Haysbury, Lisa? Yes, I do. I've got a friend who owns a caravan. You know, when all the caravans, before they were moved to further along the road because of the erosion, now her caravan's been moved to the new plot. I have been there. Stephen, you're in your 40s. You're younger than me. Stephen UK's in his 30s. I'm in my 20s. Hello, George. Thank you for joining. Big yellow pole. Where's that? Willis, oh no, Carl says there's a lovely lighthouse at Hayeswhere. There is. Carl says, Stephen, you wish. Janet's 21. Andrea's in her 50s. Yes, so am I, Andrea. And I think once you get to your 50s, you just don't care anymore about anything. And you can get away with anything, I think. Sally Ann says, there's a fabulous cliff-top walk. Yes, there is. From the lifeboat station all the way along to the car park for the lighthouse. That's a lovely walk. If SW was here in the live stream, I'd tell her about that walk. Carl says we're all as old as we feel. Absolutely, and I certainly don't feel 50. Now compare this cruiser going past to the last one that struggled. That one's called Cavalier. Totally different, isn't it? But this water is just going out so fast, so it's not surprising. Willis says, do you remember when the steps got taken away by the erosion? They closed the steps next to the lighthouse car park. My mum went down on the beach on the other steps and got stuck down there. Oh no, had to walk back on south before the tide came in. I went down the slope at Cart Gap, had a walk along, and the water was coming in fast, and I nearly got that. I wasn't able to get back on the slope to get back up to Cart Gap, but I did, but won't do that again. Willisy is in his 20s. Why don't I believe Willisy? Andrew says, definitely don't care. You're only as old as you feel. Absolutely, Andrea. Commodore, that's not having any problem at all. Ah, George says the yellow pole is at the junction on Braden. I know where you mean. Sally Ann always used to go fishing at Cart Gap. These are nice, these boats. I reckon these two boats are together, don't you? You've got that one. Oh, there's some coming this way. You've got that one, and then you've got this one. There's 3 cruisers approaching this way. There's not a lot of room, is there? It's busy, which is great because we've waited so long for it to get busy. But it's lovely to see. Let's see what messages I missed. Oh, Willisy says Maggie Thatcher was out of office for many years before I was born. Oh, Willisy might be in his 20s then. Andrea's son's favourite boat is Commodore. Carl still fishes at Cart Gap. Stephen says it's rush hour. Absolutely, you'll see them come past in a second. Andrea says looks like broom boats. Yes, I think they were. Janet says I'm stuck at 21 but my body says no thanks. I think I'm 24. Willis says boats are like buses, they come all at once. They do, don't they? How does that happen? It's either all or nothing. Andrea says busy now, they all had the gravy and chips. Janet says lovely to see more boats. It really is. This broom beside me is spectacular. And the noise from all the boats, it's wonderful. We should be here every day, shouldn't we? Hi. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. And still there's more. Sally Ann says, I'm in my 70s but don't often admit to it. I don't often admit to being in my 50s, but I think my grey and white hair might give it away now. Pam says, Sally, me too. Andrea says, wow to the boats going past. Absolutely. George says his favourite boat. Hi. George says my favourite boat was Beam of Light, Herbert Woods, long time ago. Janet says, haha, you're a fibber, like me. Carl says, lovely boats. Spectacular boats, aren't they? Janet says, never admit to it, never admit to your age. Willis says, age is just a number anyway. Absolutely. Willis says some days he feels 12, others he feels 100. Yes, I think everybody's like that. Sally Ann's agreeing with you. Andrew says, best place in the world, especially when the sun is out. I think when you do live streaming, oh, I'm just trying to get my charger. I don't think you're going to run out of charge. I just want to make sure. I think I need different places for live streaming than I do when I'm just doing ordinary filming. Janet says, I didn't think we'd see as many boats as this. No, I didn't either. I didn't even know what time they were going to be crossing. It's just pot luck that I'm here. You just never know what you're going to see when you're out. And that's all goodness. That's all part of the fun, isn't it? Willis says the only time we see this many boats is at Potterheim or Roxham. You're quite right. I'm just... There you are. You're on charge now. Well, you would be if I switched the charger on. See? Technology. Technology and I don't go together. Thank you for the 36 likes on this live stream. And hello to the 32 people of you that are here watching. Thank you for joining. Willis says, I will go to the Horning Boat Show next year and also the Boatathon up in Sutton in September. Is the Horning Boat Show on every year? There's another cruiser coming this way. The tide is still rushing out at some colossal speed. You think it might be from now on? Well, that's good. I went to this year's. Pam says, nor me, Lisa. I just about know how to turn my iPad on. I know, it's technology and we just don't go together. There is another cruiser coming. Janet says she doesn't like these cruisers with the steps at the back. No, nor me. No. Look at this one. Look at the back of that one. What do you hold on to? Thank you for the details, Willisy. Ken says, good afternoon, Lisa. Good afternoon, Ken. Thank you for joining us all. I'm just along from the yacht station. The tide's rushing out. And we're just watching the cruisers that are either going towards Breydon Water or have just come off. Andrea says, old cruisers from Martham are the best. They most definitely are. Willis says, Lisa, are you going to Sutton Boatathon? It's the first I know of it, Willissy. Gareth says, love all you do. Thank you for all the live videos you're doing. You keep us I should think that keep you up to date with the great work. Love it. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. It's better than sitting at home, isn't it? Hello to the 25 of you in here watching the live stream. Thank you for joining us. Hello to the people watching on replay. Thank you for the 838 likes on this live stream. And thank you to my moderators for doing a fantastic job. Janet says they're back again looking for you. I know, I hid. I didn't stand up this time. Stay sitting down. Pam says, blimey, the message has got around about the chips and gravy. They're all rushing there, aren't they? Gosh, it's got breezy. Or breezier, I should say. Willisy says, oh, you have moderators. How official. Going up in the world. There's Carl from Waterside Fishing is a moderator, and Mark Lawrence is, and Johnny Treehouse. Mark's out on his boat and hasn't got very good signal. He did pop in here and say hi earlier. I just say he didn't have poor signal. And John is at work. But he also popped in here early to say hello. Andrea, jam on first and then the cream. I'm still here, Janet. Sometimes I'm having a look around to see what's happening. I'm nosy, you see, very nosy. Mr. Phil, very welcome. Thank you for joining us. You say, hi Lisa, first time in chat for me, love the streams. I'm old enough to remember the third bridge across the Bure that carried the old railway to the beach station. First came to the Broads in 1965. Well, thank you for joining us. Willis, he says, Beeching got rid of that, sadly. Absolutely, he did, didn't he? Can somebody put in a request for more comfortable benches, please? I can hear a cruiser approaching. 2 cruisers. Willis says, my mother was born in 64. That's a Richardson's boat. It's called Siesta 4, and it's a broom. Rattle on the Road says, good afternoon. That's a great name. Need to bring a cushion, Lisa, says Janet. I do. Can you see the dog on the outside? Brink's Harmony 3. Sally Ann says, I left school in 64. That's a great name, Rattle on the Road. I think you visited the live stream before, haven't you? I think, I could be wrong. Janet says, I left school in 1966. Sorry, I was going to close this tripod down, but I changed of plan. So I'm opening the legs of the tripod out. It's better if you sit on the bench rather than me hold the tripod. Rattle on the Road says, the building opposite you used to be a shop run by my grandparents and great-grandparents. Oh my goodness. What, the pink building? Got to movie for this. Let's just make this shorter. That building there, that one, the pink one. Rattle on the Road says, yes, you have been in my live stream before. We watched the sun go down. Yeah, I did. I filmed sunset twice. Sally Ann says, growing up in the 60s was great. Lucy says, look, wow, I love local history facts. So do I. So Rattle on the Road, that pink building, was that the shop? You might have replied already and I've missed the message. Not the pink one. Okay. Directly opposite me. In Runham Vauxhall. I like driving over there because it's like going back in time. You've got the little narrow lanes, old buildings with businesses that have been there since the year dot, and they're still running. Perhaps we'll have to go for a walk over there one day. The white one. There you are. Janet says the 60s had the best music, flower power, and everything was so different to now. Oh, what was the pub? The one standing on its own? The previous suspension pub. It's actually up for sale. Miners and Brady, if you want to look inside. Yeah, Miners and Brady. SW, good afternoon. SW says, good afternoon, everyone. Am I late to the party? No, as I told somebody earlier on, nobody's ever late when they join the live. We all have busy lives we lead, so it really doesn't matter. And if you ever miss one, you can always watch it on the replay. Janet, over there, that used to be the suspension pub, I'm sure it was. It's always been a pub, as far as I am aware. SW's had to have a sleep after her early walk. I was chatting earlier, SW, and I thought of another walk to tell you, and it's totally gone now. Anybody who was in here earlier, can you remember what we were discussing when I said, oh, that's another walk for SW? Somebody will remember, SW, and let me know and jog my memory. There's another boat coming from the left. Haysborough. See, you're brilliant, Sally Ann. Thank you so much. I'm amazed. Do you know, I really have the best subscribers. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Yes, SW. You want to drive to Cart Gap, where there is a car park next to the lifeboat shed. Park there and then go along a path. You don't go down onto the beach. There is a path along a track and you head in the direction of Haysborough Lighthouse, and you've got the cliff top walk from Cart Gap up to Haysborough Lighthouse. You need to be careful of the erosion, but that's a lovely walk along there. Great views down onto the beach. Yes, Walcott Beach is lovely, SW. I prefer Walcott Beach to Horsey, or Waxham is lovely as well. I do like Walcott. I used to like it. I'd go there and I watched, I think it was a Thursday night, and they had the what those things you sit on and the water spurts out the back. SW says, made a note, I was wondering if I would fall off the cliff. No, there will be a new path. Just be careful. You can't miss where it is, the erosion. It's very deep, very high, and you can see all the ground cracking. Mr. Phil says, I missed this, sorry. Mr. Phil says, the Suspension Bridge Tavern has been up for sale for years. I was involved in supplying caretakers when it closed. Thank you for that, Mr. Phil. I'm just seeing if I've missed any other messages. SW says, what a stunning location you're at today. Thank you, SW. I'm just along from Great Yarmouth Yacht Station. SW says, might investigate new walks Friday. Carl says, we do walks along the Norfolk beaches showing the waves scenery on his channel. Willis says, there is a proposal to move Haysborough Lighthouse a quarter of a mile inland from the cliffs. Is there really? My goodness. Janet says you made the right choice for coming here today, Lisa. Thank you, Janet. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And thank you again. I know I keep saying thank you, but I do mean it. Thank you all for joining and having a look at the live where we are. Another cruiser just under the bridge coming this way. When I face that way, the sun totally makes my screen impossible to read. SW says, cannot see how they would get funding to move the lighthouse. SW says, we'll investigate Carl's channel for the walks. Sorry, coughing. Mr. Phil says they could ask Challenger Annika. They did a paint job on it years ago. Yes, they did, didn't they? SW says, I remember that. Carters were hanging about waiting for the TV crew. Stephen remembers it too. Willis says, didn't she mess up the paint afterwards? It was all very controversial. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. Sally Ann says, well, it's been a very pleasant afternoon, but time for me to go now. Catch you all tomorrow. Sally Ann, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. I haven't even thought about that. Oh, Sally Ann says, P.S. that's the boat I'm hiring. The one that just went past. SW says, I remember they portrayed the local people as being a bit dim, terrible at the time. Oh, I don't remember that. I love all this local information. Thank you all saying hello and goodbye to people when they arrive and leave. That makes it such a friendly place to be, doesn't it? And that's what we want. A nice, friendly live stream of like-minded people. Willis says, disgraceful. Absolutely. Still have the most amazing blue sky. It's a beautiful shade of blue, isn't it? Do you realise we've now been live 2 hours? Where has that 2 hours gone? Janet says, I've always found Norfolk people to be lovely. Yes, me too. Stephen says, Lisa, have you got my channel? I don't know, Stephen. I do lives at Whitlingham if you like. The lifeboat was there last night, wasn't it, Stephen? Can I add you from on here or? You're going for a walk? Okay, I'll just tried to add you, Stephen, on here now, but I don't think I can subscribe to you directly from here. I will after the live. Carl says, time goes so fast when you're having fun. It does. Carl, can I add Stephen from this live, or do I have to wait until I'm out of it? I just did have a look, but... Pam says, what's the round building next to you? Driven past it many times on the way to the marketplace, but never stopped there. It is a gatehouse for when Great Yarmouth had a town wall. I think a gatehouse, is it? It's north, it's one of the towers anyway. Would this be North Tower? I don't know. Don't know its exact name, but it's definitely one of the towers. Probably not the gatehouse, I gave you the wrong information there. But it's from the times when Great Yarmouth had a town wall. I did do some research on the town wall when I filmed it, but I can't remember. I'd need to have a look. Northwest Tower, Mr. Phil, thank you so much. I got the north bit right and I got the tower. Totally wrong with the gatehouse. Northwest Tower. Thank you. Willis says, Yarmouth's town wall is far more complete than Norwich's. And when I did the research for the wall, I found out that everybody who lived in Yarmouth had to help build it. And I did know that at the time of making my video, how many years it took to build. But obviously, it's a while ago since I filmed that and I can't remember. But if you look in my Great Yarmouth playlist, you'll see that video. Mr. Phil says it's over 600 years old. Janet says, dinghy on that boat seemed a bit low. Sorry, I've missed so many messages. The sun is now somehow shining around this way and it's not as easy. Do you find that, Carl, reading messages is tricky when you've got the sun? Willis, he says, is the chemist in Yarmouth still there or gone? Which one and whereabouts, Willis? Mr. Phil says, Northwest Tower is now a holiday let. Liam from A Touch of Wildlife said that earlier and I didn't think it was open. It doesn't look open because there was planning to turn that into holiday accommodation, wasn't there? Or do you mean the other one that's already been done? Rattle on the Road says there's a plaque on it, on the tower with the date on it. Stephen says, agree, Lisa, nightmare. What's a nightmare, Stephen? Oh, look at this boat bouncing up and down on the wash from the other. Ah, yes, sorry, Stephen, because I'm reading so many messages. Yes, it is a nightmare with the sun on the screen. Yeah, and one minute you can see absolutely fine, and the next you think, why can't I see now? Thank you, Mr. Phil. The southeast tower is open as a holiday let. The northwest tower is being converted. Yeah. This is the cruiser that was bouncing up and down in all the wash from the other cruiser. Oh, and I think that we've got some more coming. Let's have a look. Let's look the other way. That's called Cool Breeze. That's beautiful, isn't it? It's a Seamaster. Lovely name. Yes, compared to the other boats, it is quite small, isn't it? Regal Light going past with two lovely dogs up on the top deck piece. Now, I cannot see what I'm filming this way. I'm just aiming my camera that way and hoping for the best. So I'll take you back this way in case I wasn't showing you the boats going under the bridge like I thought I was. You see, even this way now, it's a struggle to read or see the screen. Willis loves seeing the dogs on boats. I do. The dogs on boats generally look so happy. SW says, the river here is a lot quieter compared to Ludham, Potter Heigham. Well, these people here are either crossing Breydon or have just crossed Breydon. They're going from the north to the south Broads or vice versa. Or if they're seagoing, they could well be going out to sea if the bridge is working. SW says your filming is fine. Thank you, SW. I honestly, I can't see a thing that way. Stephen says Ludham is quiet in places. TPN, hi. Thank you for joining us. Yes, Janet says it's been quite busy here, SW. I think it has been busy here as well. Yes, it's all or nothing, but it has been busy. If you think back at the early part of the live stream, it was constant, wasn't it? We had 3 most beautiful broom boats go past. There is a Richardson's boat coming this way. Carl says, Lisa, the river ant around Stalham is really busy during the day at the moment. Thing is, there's nowhere for me to view, unfortunately. Rattle on the Road says, mustache, supposed to be working. Rattle on the Road, thank you so much for joining us. Catch you again next time. Look how low down in the water this boat looks now. The tide has really gone out. Bye, Rattle. Gold Gem 3. Perhaps that cruise is just smaller than the others that have gone past, but it suddenly seems as though the water's dropped an awful lot. Chris says, still watching in my workshop. Just having a cup of tea, like all the chat. Did you finish the wardrobes you were making before? Low water is 3:32. Who told me that? Oh, Mr. Phil, thank you so much. 3:32. And it's roughly 3:15. Willis has said, what happened to the first 2 gold gems? I don't know. David's back. Hi, David. Oh, this looks nice that's coming past. Oh, and we've got a narrowboat coming. Oh, I say. Aquaholic. That's a great name, isn't it? Look, just look. Oh, a narrowboat, says Willisy. Yes. Most beautiful narrowboat. Wow, I've never ever seen a narrow. Oh, I have actually, a really long one. I was going to say I've never seen a narrowboat. I have actually filmed a narrowboat, but that was from Borough Castle. Look at this. It's called Nuts May. Isn't that great? Now, you know when I face this way, I can't see anything, so it's just pot luck whether I'm holding this in the correct place. I really hope it is right. And if you're messaging me saying, yes, Lisa, it's correct, you can see it. I can't see messages either. I'm so sorry. I wish I was over at the rugby club now, watching the narrowboat actually crossing Braden. I wonder where he's come from. Absolutely fabulous. Right, let's see what you're all saying to me. Lisa, we can't see anything probably. Let's have a look. It's got a nice cool breeze to stop my phone heating up. Right, let's see. David says, I think there's 6 gold gems. Melissa says, just like they have in the Fens, meaning the narrowboat. Stephen says, Lisa, is it your signal or my news signal? I've got 5G here, so I've not dipped out a signal whatsoever. How is the signal for everybody else? Have I lost connection at all? Stavros says there's a few gold gems, hence the number. Stephen says, oh, that's awesome. It was, wasn't it? It truly was. Willis says they're rare on the Broads. I know. I've seen one, as I said, the great big long one from when I filmed at Borough Castle. There used to be one as a liverboard at Martham, but that's gone now. You get a couple of little ones at Ludham Bridge, sweet tiny ones, and there's a lady lives on hers at Ludham. And then this one, I've never seen this one. Oh, and there's a little blue one I see at Wroxham. So there's quite a few actually, really, when I think about it. Janet says, lovely little narrowboat. Willissy says, lovely painted livery, it was. I think it was a gold gem that I saw you and Vicky on. Yes, I think it was. Willissy says, no, it was fine when I faced the other way. Thank you, Willissy. Signal's fine. Thank you, Pam. John says, oh, John's back. John says it's all fine. Signal is good. Yes, I thought it might be good because 5G is the best you can get, isn't it? Carl says signal is great, Lisa. Thank you. So sorry, Stephen. It looks like it might be your signal. Willis has spotted that the little narrowboat was from Yorkshire. Oh, well spotted, Willisy. I presume that's what you mean. Janet says, Lisa, you need to bring an umbrella, sunglasses, a cushion and a hat. A case of water. And a truck to put it all in. Stephen says, and plenty to drink. Yes, when it's really, really hot, because I'm sitting in the sun all the time, I find I just have to drink continuously. It's so weird. So I take loads of drinks out with me. I'd never want to eat. Well, I eat the cherries and the grapes and the strawberries while I'm filming, but I never want to eat other things. Just want to drink all the time. But it's not as hot today, so I'm okay drink-wise. Stephen says he's with O2 and it says 5G on the screen, but I don't think it's working for him. SW says such a clear and sharp image today. Thank you, SW. So you only really get 5G in Great Yarmouth and Norwich around here in this area. Carl says we saw a gem boat sunk in Stalham when we had the bad winds. It's on my channel. Yes, I think I've watched that, Carl. I think I saw it. It was moored up, wasn't it? Was it blue? Was it blue? I don't know. But I did see you found a sunk one. John says he's been here most of the time, but not been chatting us. Officially, he should be working. While the boss is away, the cat will play, or the mice will play. SW says lemon, honey and hot water is oh, I pressed the wrong thing. Is soothing for your throat, Lisa. I sometimes have it instead of tea or coffee. Yes, when I had COVID in the beginning and my throat was so horrendously painful. It was only really ice cold drinks and honey and lemon that would soothe it. David says there's a small narrowboat at Horning called Raspberry Ripple, and they only told me they called it that because it is red and rippled because it had been on fire and the sides were not straight. Oh my goodness. Here comes a cruiser. Stephen's still drinking honey and lemon. It does help, doesn't it, Stephen? Stephen's just had COVID as well, if anybody doesn't know. Willisy says he saw a sunken boat in Ludham. Did you? Whereabouts? Are you talking about the gentleman who had a narrowboat and they went up the Thames on it, and then they're on a canal, they've moved their boat to somewhere else? Carl says to Johnny, oh, sorry. Carl says, me too, Johnny, but I'm my own boss. Yes, me too, Carl. It's great, isn't it? Best thing ever. Hi. SW says the Romans used to use honey for medicinal purposes. I heard if you eat honey from the exact area you live, the chances are you'll rarely be ill, like colds and things. How right that is, I don't know. So he says, we're waving back. Oh, thank you for waving at them. I think people know when they see me looking at my screen and chatting away, I think they realise I'm live. David says there was a sunk sailboat at Womack for a couple of years. SW says you are correct, Lisa, about the honey, eating it from where you live. Yes, somebody told me about a gentleman who, funny enough, makes honey. He lives in Potter Heigham. Another cruiser. Let's see if I can look the other way yet. Hello to the 32 people in here on this live stream. Thank you for joining us all. It's nothing. Oh, I can just slightly make out the picture this way. I can see the bridge. It's very strange how that happens. Really strange. At least I can see that way now. Another cruiser going past. Barnes Brink Craft, Brink's Tempo 2. Hi! YouTube live. Oh, I'm up to 47 likes on this live stream. Thank you all so much. And thank you also to my moderators who do a fantastic job for me and let me just keep filming and watching the chat and, you know, interacting with you. And I don't want to tempt fate, but what normally happens in a live hasn't happened today yet. But we won't discuss it, and it'll arrive. Otherwise it might tempt fate. Willis says, I love it when people wave back. Me too. I let them wave first and then wave back. Because I think, well, they're on holiday. They don't want to be hounded by everybody. But I think they twig to what I'm doing. Another siren. Graham says, good afternoon, everyone. First time chatting on here. Best channel on YouTube by far. Oh, Graham, thank you so much. Thank you for your very kind comments. If you want to be notified when I go live next time, it's usually each day, while the weather's nice anyway. If you subscribe to me and then click on the bell, and click the bell to say all notifications, which is the top one, and then when I'm next live you'll be notified. Everybody's saying hello to you, Graham, that's in the live stream. Davros says I need to get a black cloth like the old cameras had. Yes. Willis says I wave when I see people on the little train in Wroxham, on the boats or on the horses in Great Yarmouth. SW says sometimes people are too busy watching where they are going to notice when you wave to them. That's why I let them wave to me first and then I wave back. One of them said, you know what, I couldn't hear exactly, but indicated, pointed to my thing. So what we're doing, that's when I said YouTube live. Joe says, I love to see how excited the kids are go on the boats. Yes, they are. They love it, don't they? Carl says, I always wave when out on my boat filming, as my set people think I'm a speed camera boat. There is at Potter Heigham, have you seen the fake speed camera, Carl, or anybody else? It looks nothing like a speed camera, but it does slow people down. Now you see, I can see the coach going over the bridge. And the sun is right above, so I just don't get it. Well, it's certainly been busy here today. Graham says, we had our first holiday on the Broads in 1973. It was on Ferry Buccaneer 3, a lovely old wooden boat. Sounds wonderful. Do you still visit the Broads, Graham? You haven't seen it. It's, as you say, just past the basin, heading away from Potter. It's on the right hand side. Not too many properties along. But it's not yellow, it's just a sign saying, and something there to, and it says, it's a speed camera. You'll have a look, it's quite funny. Willis says, on the border of Potterheim and Reps. Yes, you've seen it. Tranquil Light 1. David says, I think our first Broads holiday was 1968-69 in a house out at, oh excuse me, yawning, out at Stalham. Graham says, only very rarely, but still love the place. We live up in North Yorkshire. Willis says, my mum finds it funny. The speed camera. Did she? I missed that. If she did, that's the first time ever. I'll play it. It's about 150 the time. Joe says, is the sea air making me tired? I think it is. Yes, the yawning has started, and it's not by any shape or form the fact I'm sat here live streaming that's making me yawn. I don't want anybody thinking that. Although I was tired last night at Hickling. Willissy says, I'm sorry, but she... Thank you, Willissy. I missed that. I didn't see that at all. Wow. I think all I did was turn the camera like this to their boat, wasn't it? It wasn't on them very long. You know, different if I've been stood at the edge filming right inside their boat. Well, you can't see inside the boats really from here. Willissy, no, thank you for alerting us to it. I just turned the camera because there's a child going up the steps. I was just thinking that, Janet, but I don't know how to on a live stream. I can on an ordinary video. David says maybe on holiday with someone they shouldn't have been with. So roughly around the 150 minutes mark, if you all want to have a look later. Maybe she was just pointing to something else. Probably was me live streaming though. Let's see, what else could she have been pointing at in my direction? Nothing. So no, it was definitely the fact she was being filmed she didn't like. But when you're out, well, I edit in the iPhone edit place. I don't actually use the studio part because I use my phone, you see. Joe says, don't let it spoil your day, Lisa. No, I won't. I'll have a look though, because you can blur it out, can't you? I've never actually done that. Pam says, well, that's down there a bit, Pam. We've got another boat coming. Let's look at the next boat. Hopefully the next boat will be better. Looks rather nice. I'll keep you facing like this. Gracious emblem. That's right, Janet. Willis says, I love the names of these boats. I do. I love boat names. No, Carl. That boat did look expensive, David. Now we've got another one. Brilliant emblem. See, now that's what I like. I didn't zoom in, and I'm not going to say exactly what, because I'm live, but I like, you get a name, something's absolutely spectacular in the name, and you look at the boat and you think, Willis says, some names are very elegant, some are just funny, and some are rather sweet. They are. SW says, well, everyone, I'm now going to plan my early morning Friday walk along the coastal locations. Thank you all for your suggestions. Enjoy the rest of your day. SW, thank you so much for being here and joining us. Yes, Stephen. Stephen says, I can see both sides on this. People don't know what others are doing with phones. Absolutely. But the law states when you're out in a public place, there's nothing to say you can't film people. Not children, but adults. No, never children. I didn't almost drop you, I promise. And still the cruisers are coming through. Thank you all for saying bye to SW and everybody else who's arrived or left. I probably ought to think about going myself, you know. Thank you. Graham says it's been a quick visit, but I've got to go and cut the grass. Ta-ta for now. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you again another day. Janet says it's 3:45, plenty of time yet. Yes, but I made curry last night, and of course they liked it, so they want it again tonight. Who's cheering? Let's have a look. Cheering for going under the bridge. Janet says, I've got 50 likes. It's showing 49 for me. $50 for you, is it, Stephen? Absolutely, Willisy. Of course I would. 51? Oh, it's gone to 50. Yeah, it's on 50 for me now. Thank you, everybody, for all the likes on this live stream. That's why they were cheering, because I got to 50 likes. Yeah, probably. Stephen says, did you save us some curry? No, it all got eaten. $51, it just shows us 50 for me still. Thank you, Joe, that's very kind of you. Janet says 51. Yeah, it still shows us 50 for me, but that took a little while to switch over to 50. You were all saying it was 50, but I was still on 49. Thank you, Janet. Well, I really do think I need to go home, you know. It's gone to 51. Takes me out. I'm a bit behind you. Janet says order a takeaway. Okay, if you must, says Stephen. Yes, thank you, Stephen. Oh, what happened there, Carl? Stephen got timed out. Oh, 52. Chris says, have a wonderful evening. Thank you, and you. I've lost track of what you're all saying now. Oh, we got an unwanted message, did we? Thank you for sorting that. I missed it anyway. Bob by the Water says, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us, Bob, on your holiday. Bob's on his boat and he's at Wayford Bridge, or he was earlier. Will you be at Ludden Bridge tomorrow? I don't know where I'll be tomorrow yet. I don't know. I need to be somewhere where there's fantastic signal, like here at 5G. Thank you, Stephen. You're very welcome. Thank you, Joe. Thank you to everybody who's been. I mean, it doesn't matter, just people pop in for a little time, but most of you here have stayed the whole time. Thank you. Thank you, Carl. Thank you for being a great moderator. Willisy says Ersted. No, when I filmed last at Ersted, it was definitely unwanted. So I won't film there ever again. I'm trying to see what the messages were that got deleted or not got I don't know what happened. Something happened and I missed it. I quite like St Benet's Abbey. Moorings, I should say. It's got to be where the I need fantastic signal to live stream. You're all thanking me. You're all very welcome. Thank you for joining me. So really it's got to be, we did Potter Heigham the other day. I suppose it probably will be Ludden Bridge. Thank you, Carl. Yes, St Benet's is lovely. You're very welcome, Pam. Ranworth. I like Ranworth. The thing about Ranworth is, once all the boats moor stern on like they do, you can't see anything. Yes, lovely sunsets at St Benet's Abbey. I'm trying to just do, I have done evening lives and I was out last night, but I think I'm better if I'm out in the daytime doing lives. Because remember, I'm on my own. So it's better when there's other people about. I have had times when I've been doing lives and cars have turned up. And those of you watching, you know, because I always show you. Where's that, Janet? I have, yes, I did do a reps live stream. That's when Mark Lawrence passed me while I was live streaming. Top of the church at Ranworth. That took me 3 attempts over 4 years to get to the top of that. Never again. Right, everybody, I'm going to go, and I will see you all tomorrow from somewhere. As yet, at Ranworth Birdwatch. Thank you, Andrea. Bye, Joe. Bye, David. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Bob. Coltershore. Now, there's an idea. Wonder how the signal is there. See you at somewhere then, Pam. Yes, somewhere. I'll be somewhere. I'll work it out between now and then. And I know I keep saying it, but thank you again to my moderators for taking care of whatever happened earlier. Thank you all, and don't forget to look on the replay at roughly around 150 minutes in. Okay, I'm going. I'll see you tomorrow.